Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into a book that I have just completed reading. It's not just a read, but a complete mental reset, and I needed it in the current phase of my life. The book is David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me, Master Your Mind and Defy the Odds. Now, if you have heard of David Goggins, you might be thinking, what does a Navy SEAL and an ultra endurance athlete have to do with my professional life? And that's exactly what we are going to explore. Goggins' principles, while extreme, hold incredibly powerful lessons for us in the corporate world, in our careers, and even for how we present ourselves professionally on platforms like LinkedIn and in our personal lives. So let's dive in. David Goggins' journey is one of overcoming immense adversity, both external and internal. He teaches us that our biggest limitations are often self-imposed, residing within our own minds. So let's extract 5 key lessons from Can't Hurt Me that you can apply starting today to elevate your professional and personal game. The first powerful concept from Goggins is the accountability mirror. He literally writes down his weaknesses, his failures, and his goals on sticky notes and puts them on mirror, forcing himself to confront them on every single day. For us professionals, this translates to radical self-assessment. Are you truly honest with yourself about your performance, your skill gaps, your areas of improvement? Instead of externalizing the blame on your managers or making excuses, take a hard look at your contribution to any professional challenge or setback. A tip to reflect this self-awareness on your LinkedIn profile is, before you update your skills or write your summary, ask yourself, what are my true strengths? Where do I genuinely need to grow? How can I authentically showcase my capabilities without embellishment? And what experiences have truly shaped me? Be honest, and your profile will resonate with authenticity. Isn't that what we are looking for in the current AI age? Authenticity. Now, lesson 2 is developing a calloused mind and embracing discomfort. This doesn't mean running around with broken bones, but it means a lot more. So let's dive into this lesson a bit more. Goggins talks about developing a calloused mind, essentially training your brain to thrive in uncomfortable situations. He pushes himself far beyond what seems humanly possible, and through that, he builds mental resilience. In our professional lives, comfort can be a killer of progress. Are you avoiding challenging projects because they seem too difficult? Are you shying away from feedback sessions because they might feel uncomfortable? Growth happens at the edge of your comfort zone. Embrace that challenging presentation, volunteer for that stretch assignment, or seek out constructive feedback or criticism from your managers, peers, and leads. Here's a LinkedIn tip to showcase your resilience. On LinkedIn, don't just list achievements. Subtly hint at the challenges that you overcame to get there. Talk about projects where you had to learn new skills on the fly, or where you pushed through difficult circumstances to deliver results. This will demonstrate a calloused mind to employers and collaborators, which is truly valued in the professional world. Lesson 3 is the 40% rule and tapping into the untapped potential. This is perhaps one of Goggins' most famous principles, the 40% rule. He believes that when your mind tells you that you're done, you are exhausted, that you can't go on, you're actually only at about 40% of your true capacity. There is so much more in the tank that we fail to tap. Think about that moment in your professional day when you feel overwhelmed or you're ready to throw in the towel. Goggins would say you've got another 60% of effort, creativity, and problem solving ability waiting to be tapped. Push past that initial mental wall. Take a short break, reframe the problem, or collaborate with someone, but don't just give up. Here's a LinkedIn tip again. Use this understanding to fuel your networking and job search. Don't stop at the first few rejections or unanswered messages. If you're job searching or client hunting, keep refining your approach, connecting with more people, and learning new skills. If you're building your network, don't stop after a few connections. Keep engaging, providing value, and expanding your reach. You're likely only at 40% of your networking potential. Now, on to the next lesson, which is the importance of recovery and deliberate stretching. Finally, a less talked about but equally crucial lesson from David Goggins, especially near the end of Can't Hurt Me, is his dedicated commitment to stretching. After pushing his body to the absolute brink, he understood that without intense daily stretching, his body would break down. In fact, there was a time where he was unable to run even a few kilometers. It wasn't just about the grind, it was about sustainable grind. The key lesson here is the importance of deliberate recovery and maintenance. In our professional lives, we are constantly pushing ourselves. For example, we keep attending meetings, achieving deadlines, learning new skills, managing complex projects, and we have a constant fear of missing out if we take a break. However, if we don't build in periods of deliberate recovery, whether that's taking mental breaks, prioritizing sleeps, or yes, even physically stretching to release the tension from long hours at a desk, we risk a burnout and breakdown. Sustainable performance comes from recognizing that hard work must be balanced with smart recovery. Even David Goggins realized this fairly late in his endurance career. So, how do we use this on LinkedIn? So, use LinkedIn to showcase your ability to maintain a sustainable work life balance or life work balance, not just a frantic pace. While you want to show your drive, certainly communicate that you also understand the importance of well being for long term productivity. You could share articles on healthy work habits, or, if appropriate for your company culture, mention how you incorporate self care to stay sharp and productive with your team. This shows maturity and an understanding of long term professional productivity, health, and creativity, because a tired mind can't be creative. Lesson 5 is the cookie jar and empathy in leadership. One of the most powerful and often overlooked parts of Goggins' method is his cookie jar, his mental archive of past accomplishments that he draws from when facing a new challenge. He doesn't just use this for himself, he uses it as a way to remind himself of his strength and resilience. Here's the thing though, Goggins' brand of perfectionism and relentless intensity, while inspiring, can sometimes intimidate others. He is an individual operator, and in the professional world, we need to be a team player. A Goggins-like approach as an individual can make others feel like they can't measure up or that their efforts aren't good enough. So, how do we apply his principles without alienating our team? The lesson here is to use your cookie jar as a source of empathy and strategic leadership. For example, if you're a high performer, instead of just pushing everyone else to your level, draw from your past successes to offer guidance, share your lessons learned, and coach others. Instead of saying just work harder or just stay back in office longer, which is the Goggins mantra, a more effective professional approach is to say, I know this is tough. I remember a time when I faced a similar challenge with a similar project. And here is what I learned that might help you. On your LinkedIn profile, you can reflect this balance. While you should highlight your achievements and drive, but Use the About section or posts to talk about your leadership style, how you empower others, and how you value teamwork. This shows that you're not just a lone wolf. You are a powerful force who can also bring others along with you. Now, it's time to conclude the lessons and summarize this video. So while we may not all be running 100-mile races like Goggins, the mental fortitude, self-discipline, and commitment to sustainable growth that David Goggins embodies are incredibly relevant to our professional lives and personal lives as well. The accountability mirror for honest self-assessment, developing a calloused mind to embrace discomfort, remembering the 40% rule to tap into your untapped potential, embracing the power of deliberate recovery through practices like stretching, meditation, and sleeping and resting, and finally using the cookie jar to lead with empathy and not just intensity. Which of these lessons resonates most with you? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more professional development tips, and share it with a colleague who might benefit. Thank you for watching this video.